20 past 10. Last night, if you watch the daily vlog, you'll know I went to the Olympus launch for the OMD E-M1 Mark II. More on that in a second. Let's just have a quick squiz at what the concrete cutter got up to yesterday. Just all that noise is finished. Look at that. That's concrete gone. Removal of crete. That's the first major task, I suppose, for the dismantling of the mainland. Now onto the Olympus event. Far out. I got the brochure here. Unfortunately, I don't have one of the cameras in my hand, but this is the next best thing. This guy, I gotta sit down for this. Now I'm looking at this specifically for a vlogging perspective. So the advancements in still photos are revolutionary for a micro four thirds camera, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the video capabilities, and the biggest thing that this guy brings to the table, it's insane. It's got 5-axis stabilization, and you might have heard of 3-axis and 4-axis, and you might have heard of 5-axis before, but this guy is insane. And I put the camera on my Joby not my Grip Type Pro, on my Gorilla Pod, and I walked around vlogging style, and I went like this, and I went up and down, and I made steps like I'm walking, and fast movements, and this absolutely nails it. It's just silky smooth. I've got, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got no stabilization on that Sony RX10 Mark II. It just comes, whatever the movement is, whatever the jerk is, like this iPhone, whatever the movement is, that's it. You have to deal with it. Not only does that have the 5-axis, but it also has another axis, I believe 1.5 in the new lenses. So you combine the stabilization in the lens with the in-body stabilization, and you have an ultimate vlogging camera. I was having a great chat with a bunch of the Olympus reps there. There was a guy called Carl, and he showed me this insane, when you go from a dark area, like if I was to turn this light off and film me and then walk to the to the window over there and film that, the change in aperture and exposure happens in a gradual sense on the Olympus, and it's, man, this is going to go in my regular, put this back on because this has none of that. This is all going to go into my regular vlog, which I'm editing right now. So not on a daily vlog, but I'll talk about and I'll show the examples of how this worked. I think the vlog number is 114, and I'm editing it right now. So later on today, hopefully, given the slow internet, it might be tomorrow. But yeah, it was insane. It exposed me perfectly in the darker environment. And then we walked out, Carl was filming, we walked out, pointed it at a lighter object outside the building next to the Hotel CBD, and the exposure just went, and it was seamless. Like, you normally have to stop and check that stuff if you're vlogging, do a quick flip around, have a look. This, oh man, I've never used an Olympus before, but I'm really excited by this. It's beautiful. Here's the brochure, just to give you a bit of a heads up. But then again, I mean, you can see this online if you want, but it's not the same as being there. We got some great hands-on. There's some awesome, I think there was 5 or 6 of these cameras there, plus their new lens lineup, and all the crew that were there. We had the thrill seekers there. Nick got some incredible stuff. He had an interview with Carl, and it's going to come up beautifully. He used his